This is Karl Moore talking management for the Globe and Mail. Today I'm delighted to speak to Stuart Hart, who is the Samuel Johnson Professor at the Johnson Business School at Cornell University. Good morning, Stuart.
Good morning.
One of the most interesting articles I think I've taught from the last number of years is one you did with C.K. Prahalad for the Harvard Business Review on the customer at the bottom of the pyramid. What is the key idea there? And secondly, how have your ideas progressed since that article?
I think our primary motivation for doing the piece was to really make a case, sort of make a business case, that there was opportunity at the base or the bottom of the income pyramid. You know, up until then, people in large companies really ignored two-thirds of humanity. There really was no focus. The assumption was these people were too poor. There was no commercial model that made any sense. So I think our primary motivation was to create some momentum to establish the fact that there is in fact opportunity, that there's a potential market, and with that I think we've been quite successful. So I see at least two significant challenges that have emerged over the past 7 or 8 years in this whole emerging field of base of the pyramid business. One of which I think is kind of the challenge to companies not to just come in and put what you currently sell in smaller packages and then market it to the poor. You know, kind of the emerging pushback is on this idea that this is just selling stuff to poor people they don't need, the latest form of corporate imperialism. And I think that's a serious concern that we have to take it seriously. And what we see, I think, is a whole emerging sort of a second generation, a second wave of work around base of the pyramid in business, which has to do with becoming embedded in the communities, in co-creating businesses. The company comes as bringing resources and capabilities, and you want to link them up to people in the community as partners and co-create businesses together that can pull a business in rather than kind of product push.
The original idea in some ways was a Procter & Gamble, Unilever going in there and selling products. But you're saying what we're going to do is not just sell as Unilever or P&G, but what we're going to do is create relationships with small business in the developing world typically. And from that, we're going to create something new and vital to the economy in that area.
Yeah, I think what happened was, I don't know that CK and I ever really framed it as just putting stuff in sachet packages and getting it into distribution channels. I don't know that was ever our intention, but certainly people have perceived that that was the idea. And in fact, some people say BOP business, that's just marketing sachets to the poor.
Yeah.
That was never the idea. And if that is the limit of the idea, then it has absolutely no legs long term.
Okay.
I think it's produced a whole set of false dichotomies. You know, the idea that BOP, so the story goes, is about marketing to the poor is the consumer, when really we ought to be thinking about the poor as producer, because that's the only way we're going to generate livelihoods.
Okay.
I think it's a false dichotomy. That was never our thinking. The only way, I think, to develop a viable business in the base of the pyramid is to do both at the same time. Just trying to push products, just like it's sometimes difficult at the top of the pyramid, is doubly difficult at the base of the pyramid. It's necessary really to engage with the community in order to develop a business that's pulled in. And the only way you do that is through partnership, engagement, co-creation, being on the ground, building a trust relationship, and viewing those in the community as business partners. So I see that as one of the really important future directions that we're headed in.